Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome to the sixth video, our sixth procedure, where we're going to talk about sending DocuSign documents to guardians or minors and adults with legal guardians. This is going to be a follow-up from our fifth video where we went over the different types of roles that you can have for recipients in DocuSign. So here's something to know. When using DocuSign to send documents for signatures, either to the parents or guardians of minors or to the guardians of adults, the following steps need to be followed to ensure that the documents are sent successfully and that no one has to sign these documents twice, or worse, even run the risk of not getting these documents signed at all. So here are the general steps. When sending an envelope from DocuSign, you will be presented with a screen to edit the recipients. This is the screen you'll be working from. At the not quite at the end of this video, but after I get through this, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into DocuSign so I can show you what that looks like. Again, feel free to pause this video to look at anything you need to. Any mention of the SURHC patient can be deleted from the envelope if we know that we're going to be sending all the documents in this envelope to either the guardian of an adult or to the parent of a child. Be sure to use the guardian's or the parent's first and last name along with the appropriate email address. And any recipients that you're not going to need inside that envelope, you can just delete. If you have multiple documents in an envelope and you know that you used a provider here in this document, but you didn't use it for 3 more, but you use it on that fifth one, then leave that one in. Don't delete doubles there because then those can be merged. You may see that in the video depending on the example. Also, just something to generally keep in mind, there are different types of guardianships for adults, okay? Some adults that have guardians are allowed to sign paperwork. They have consent to do certain things and others don't. So just be sure that if you run into an adult that does have a guardian, you are asking, are you able to sign the form? Can we speak to your guardian? Ideally, just to play it safe, if you know that an adult has a guardian, just try to get in front of that guardian first before doing anything for that adult, because we need to know the limit of that guardianship. If there is a need to send an adult client or perhaps even a minor child a specific form for them to do, that might be the case for like an evaluation. Then what you can do at that point in time is you can find that form individually in DocuSign, use that SURHC patient to send it to them, and if you needed to, then you could just CC that parent or guardian. So in the next video, we're going to talk about the suicidality procedure and eligibility criteria. However, before I sign off, I want to go ahead and show you what those roles look like in DocuSign and how to send those documents. Okay, so I am now inside of Doxy. This is what the home page looks like. Make sure you're on the home tab here. Hit New, send an envelope. You know what, we should go over all the scenarios we talked about actually. So here's going to be the first one. We're going to click Use a Template. You will go to Shared Folders. You'll find your department's folder. For us in this video to be Behavioral Health. And let's pick something a little shorter. Yeah, we use one of these HIPAA contact forms here. And I will hit Add Selected. Okay, it's going to pull it up here. And now I'm going to enter in the information here. So here we have the parent or guardian and then the SURHC patient. Because we know that we're going to be dealing with either the child of a parent or an adult who has a guardian, what I'm actually going to do is delete the SURHC patient entirely, right? Hold on, let me make sure I'm actually in the right thing now. Deleting the template. Okay, so we're going to delete it. And then we're going to enter in that person's name. So I'll use my email there. Needs to sign, that's perfect. And we will hit Send Now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit Sign Now. And hit OK. It's just something to know too. Your clients, they may have a box right here that they have to hit a checkbox for to consent to using DocuSign before they can actually sign it. So just kind of know about that. So here, it puts it in for me, my name as a parent or guardian of, and I'm going to just type in test patient. So this is what your client will be doing. For telehealth, we are going to require that there is at least one emergency contact. So we're going to get that in right here. This could be a test father and the number 555-123-4567. Relationship will be father. So we have some default checkboxes in this template. However, the client can change it if they would like to. There's some conditional formatting here. However, we really want that first checkbox for this form done. Same thing with the second. We're going to put in a date of birth. We'll just use today for the heck of it. And then we'll sign. And then that's it. So what we're going to do now is bear with the screens loading here, but there was another scenario that I wanted to go over with you as well. So we're going to go back home. We're going to go new envelope. New, send an envelope. We're going to use the template one more time. And let's go ahead and find that same template that we used before. So office forms, I'll pick the English one this time. HIPAA contact form English, I'm going to add it. Okay, so the second scenario that I had mentioned to you all was what happens when perhaps we have an adult who has a guardian, and the adult patient is able to sign their own forms, but the guardian would like a copy of what's going on. So we can do that from here as well. So the adult that gets the form will go right here, and I am going to type in patient here, because the form doesn't like when you have people of the same name. So if you had like John Doe Sr. and John Doe Jr., if you're putting dad's name in as John Doe, but then also putting in the patient's name as John Doe, make sure you indicate either one child by parentheses or put junior or something, but because DocuSign will freak out when you try and send it, and it's like, wait a minute, you can't have two people with the same name for two different roles. You need to give it some variation there. So anyways, back to the example. So I put the patient's name in here. However, it's the guardian that wanted to receive the documents that we need to sign. So what we're going to do here is in this box needs to sign, we're just going to say receives a copy. It's going to ask you, hey, if you change the roles, also delete some fields. Is that cool? Yes, that's cool, because we don't need the guardian to sign anything. We're just going to receive a copy. So you'll hit change role. Make sure that when the person's receiving a copy, you generally want them to be at the very bottom of the DocuSign list. That way, when they receive the copy, they're getting the completed and the signed document. They're not going to be missing any fields because someone else in a different signing position than them hasn't finished signing it yet. So then what you would do is you would go ahead and put that person's name back in there. I'll just name this one guardian. And then all what you do is you would hit send, and then it would go off to the patient first, because they're in the first signing order. They would sign it, and then the guardian would receive a copy, and then the person who actually sent the envelope, that staff member from Rogers, would also get a copy as well. Okay, so that is how you handle both scenarios. I think before I jump off of here, it's going to be important just to highlight one more time for those of you that are largely in pediatrics or dealing with a minor child for that visit, and you're also the PCR handling that. If you get into that form and you know that this is for a child or for an adult with a guardian, you can immediately open the envelope, delete the patient, and then just use the parent or guardian to send those forms to sign. Okay. If you have any questions regarding this, let me know. Otherwise, in the next video, we'll jump into what the providers need to know and the PCRs need to know about suicidality procedure and eligibility criteria.